She didn't reply. She canceled the date. She said she wasn't ready. Or worse, she just went silent. And now, your ego screams, your pride itches, your mind plays every possible scenario. Maybe if I send one more message. Maybe if I explain myself. Maybe if I just show her how serious I am. But the real man, the Stoic man, he does none of that. Because rejection doesn't define him, it reveals him. He doesn't beg for attention. He doesn't chase for validation. He doesn't turn one no into a personal identity crisis. Instead, he does something most men won't. He stays still. He stays clear. He stays powerful. Not because it doesn't sting, but because he refuses to let it control him. He doesn't send angry texts. He doesn't rant to friends about how women are the problem. He doesn't post some passive-aggressive quote on social media. He does something most men can't. He accepts, not with bitterness, but with clarity. Rejection isn't the loss of a woman. It's the gain of self-respect. Because chasing after someone who already showed you where they stand, that's not love. That's emotional self-destruction. And this man, he doesn't self-destruct for anyone. He moves forward, not to prove something, but because forward is the only direction he knows. The sting, it lasts for a moment, but the discipline, that lasts forever. She notices, faster than you think. She expected a reaction, an argument, a long text asking, why, some emotional outburst. But you gave her none of that. You didn't defend yourself. You didn't question her decision. You didn't collapse emotionally. You moved on, quietly, confidently, without leaving a trace of desperation behind. And now, there's a gap in her mind. The space where your reaction should have been is now empty silence. And that silence, it does something to her. It makes her wonder, did I misjudge him? Is he actually stronger than I thought? Why is he okay when most men aren't? And just like that, without a word, without a chase, you've already flipped the dynamic. If you're the kind of man who chooses growth over ego, hit subscribe and turn on notifications. This journey is only for those built for more. Now she's scrolling through your social media, checking your status, looking for signs. Is he upset? Is he moved on already? Was I just another option for him? Her mind spirals, because you didn't. That's the power of restraint. It creates space, and in that space her curiosity grows. While other men fall apart, you rebuild. You focus on your mission, your health, your craft, your peace. You're not pretending. You're evolving. And that energy, it travels. Even in silence, it's felt. She senses it. That shift, that forward motion. And suddenly the rejection starts feeling less like her decision and more like her potential mistake. She starts posting more, stories that feel like indirect messages, captions that sound like they're meant for someone, maybe for you. She laughs louder in public, acts busier online, starts showing she's thriving. But you know better, because when a woman really moves on, she goes silent about you, not louder. You don't engage, you don't play along, you don't give her the satisfaction of knowing she's still taking up space in your head. Why? Because she isn't. Your focus, your life, your next move. And that absence of reaction, that's what keeps replaying in her mind. Not the words you could have said, but the fact that you said nothing at all. And every day she doesn't hear from you, her curiosity grows into doubt. Not about you, about herself. Days pass, weeks maybe, and still nothing from you. You didn't circle back, you didn't check in, you didn't fall for the bait hidden inside her stories or her online games. Because you're not playing her game, you're building your own, and she feels it. In the tone of your voice, when and if she ever hears it again, in your posture, in your energy. You're lighter, but sharper, calmer, but stronger. You don't carry the weight of what could have been. You carry the focus of what's next for you. And without realizing it, she starts comparing every man she meets to the one man who didn't fall apart when she left. You. Now she starts doubting herself. Was he really that unaffected? Did I mean anything to him at all? Did I lose a man, or did I just expose myself? The more she thinks, the heavier it feels. Because it's not about missing your messages, it's about missing your presence. She didn't expect you to stay strong. She expected you to break, to fold, to beg. But instead, you evolved. And that evolution, it speaks louder than any comeback text ever could. You're not here for revenge. You're not here to prove a point. You're here because you chose peace over performance. And women feel that. They recognize that energy. And once they do, it never leaves them. Now, she's the one playing mental replays, not you. You didn't chase her love. You didn't fight her rejection. You didn't beg for a second chance. You chose something most men never do. You chose yourself. And that decision? It echoes louder than any apology you could have sent, or any angry rant you could have typed. You showed her that your value was never tied to her acceptance. You didn't lose her. She lost access to you. And by the time she realizes it fully, you'll be too far ahead to even look back. This is the Stoic path, where silence isn't weakness, it's leadership. Where rejection isn't an ending, it's recalibration. Remember, the man who stays grounded after rejection is the man she will think about long after she walks away. Now let me ask you this. What's the most powerful way you've ever responded to rejection, without words and without chasing? Drop your story in the comments. I want to read how you held your frame.